Hey, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got a countdown clock, and we are counting down to BB22.
I mean, it's all stars. We got to act like all stars around here, David.
I know. I love it.
BB22, it's happening, you guys. We are so pumped. We are so excited. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, you can find a link in the description. I am so excited for tomorrow. It is the premiere of BB22 All Stars. I didn't know if we would see this day.
We didn't. It was touch and go. The whole world was touch and go.
Yeah.
We're all a little crazy. We all have long hair now. I mean, what a world we're living in.
Like it or not. Yeah.
But we are finally here. The premiere, you guys, is tomorrow, August 5th. Yes. It is at 9 p.m.
Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yep, and Pacific. Yes,
and Pacific delayed.
Yes.
So we live. Oh my God, live for the first time. Well, besides OTT, they don't ever count OTT.
Right.
The first time they're gonna live move into the house.
Yes.
Also, the first time we're gonna have an actual cast reveal on the premiere.
Yeah, it's like just they're dropping a huge bomb on us all at once.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting, this live premiere, because there are no DRs, right? Because they're just moving into the house. They haven't had like a week of footage and diary room sessions to edit together, anything like that. It's all just happening right then and there. So I was reading, some press that Julie has been doing to promote this season, and also Allison Grodner has been doing some interviews, and they're kind of saying like, it's gonna be action-packed. We've planned a lot of things for this premiere to kind of keep it moving. And among those things are like a comp night one, it seems, and some kind of twist night one.
Of course, you guys, of course. Logan, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, it is actually happening.
Yes,
we have
thank
arrived.
You,
Logan. We feel the hype. We're there with you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the press release says a move-in competition will set in motion a premiere night like no other, action-packed, high stakes, and with an ending that will twist up the game like never before.
I mean, I love it. We hear that every season, I think. They always try to like one-up themselves and do something new, which is one of the reasons I love Big Brother, because it's always a little bit different. But this is like kind of a big deal that it's a 2-hour live premiere. Like Julie's probably going to be pretty heavily involved in this premiere because she's got to keep the show moving.
She does. And thank goodness it sounds like it's not just Julie with them sitting around the couch or the table or something. And they're being like, so Janelle, how's it feel like to be back in the house?
Yeah.
Guess what? That's not what I want. Thank you.
I know.
Caroline, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, you made it live.
Oh, Caroline. Glad you're here.
We're a little early. We're like afternoon. We're daytiming it.
I know. And we actually like started on time today. Usually we're like a few minutes late, but
David, I didn't even tell you I was here a half an hour early. I almost was ready at 2. Oh, well, I was ready at 2. I almost text you like, I'm here waiting. And then I was like, oh, it's not at 2.
You're like, he's late again. Where is he?
I'm just too excited. I don't even know what time my own stream is. Okay. All right. So yes. Okay. So competition and twist, David.
Yes.
What the heck does that mean?
Okay, so I was thinking about like, what could this twist be? And the first thing that came to mind, not the only thing, but the first thing was like some kind of redemption apartment or room in the house, like they did in BB21, where there was like a group of them who were kind of booted early on, and they stayed in the house while they were awaiting their chance to battle back. And that seems like, it seems like on a season of All Stars, you would want to keep these people around like we saw on Survivor Winners at War. You want camera time with these people. And also, that seems the safest kind of way to like keep them around to maybe come back in the game. So maybe there's some kind of like separate room in the house where evictees will stay until they have a chance to battle back.
Yeah, well, if they're gonna get rid of people early, they better do that. Like,
I know.
these are all stars, or at least returning players. So
yeah,
don't don't boot them out. You guys, thank you so much for all the super chats. I can't keep up with you guys.
God.
My goodness.
Overwhelming.
Enrique, Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope they're not doing any sort of early boots. I don't want them in a separate room. I want them all there to play for at least a week.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's somehow split, though. Remember the original All-Stars, which was 1,000 years ago?
Seriously?
They had 2 HOHs that had to sort of design and agree on the noms. So I was wondering if it was something in that world where they have multiple HOHs, maybe they have extra noms and extra comps to take yourself down to get 2 noms on the block.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Because Allison Grodner, I think it was Allison, in one of her interviews was teasing like different powers this season, new things. There's always new things. So maybe there are like additional ways to save yourself. Because I can't, like with a 2-hour premiere, there can't just be one comp.
Right.
There's got to be multiple things going on, you know? So I can't imagine. I really hope, like you say, that they don't do like a full week of Big Brother in one night of the premiere. And then we've already got our first All-Star out of the game on night one. Like, I kind of don't want to see that because, like you say, they're all returning players. The reason we're excited is because we're excited to see these people back. I don't want someone to like have done all this sequester and COVID, hullabaloo for one day on Big Brother. So maybe there's multiple comps to like save yourself, or multiple steps to the HOH competition or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it needs. Multiple comps and steps to get us to maybe our 2 nominees on the block by the end of the episode. But definitely, if I had played the game before and just sat in sequester for 2 weeks being tested for COVID every other day, I am not leaving on day 1. Like,
not. You can't even drag me out of the house. Like, I'm just not leaving.
Just not happening. So, but another exciting thing about the premiere is that CBS announced today that live feeds are going to start night 1.
I mean, like, we're almost going to have, I mean, of course the feeds go down throughout the season and whatnot, but like, we're going to have the entire season on live feeds, either at a live premiere or immediately following the feed start. Like, this is incredible.
That is unprecedented. That is new. That is crazy. And it's so exciting. I just like, my head exploded when I saw that. I never once thought they would do that. Even though, usually we get a week of no feeds because these people haven't played before and they're getting used to it. And they're going to get all their curse words out or whatever before they are actually on feeds. So, but I mean, so these people have played before. Like, get it.
They kind of know how it goes. Yeah.
But we actually got it. Yeah.
So you were like, I guess I have to clear my calendar starting Wednesday because I'll be watching the live feeds.
I mean, I know it hasn't been the busiest time in my life, but like all the things on my to-do list that I kept putting off. Oh, I'll do it in August. I'll get it done in August.
You will not. You will be watching. Yeah, I know.
This is it.
Done
right now. Nothing else is getting done but this. This is it. So it's after the West Coast premiere, you guys. So if you're on the East Coast, there's a bit of a delay there before it's like 2:30 a.m. for you guys in the East Coast, but it's like 11:30 for those of us on the West Coast.
Oh, exciting. So exciting.
Okay, well, let's talk about the house. We got some pictures.
And I didn't hate them. I think we teased in our video yesterday that like, we actually kind of like this house.
This is the first time that we have really liked the house design. And honestly, I don't care. Like, I don't get too hyped about the house tour. I just, sure, I'll check it out. But I know that they're decorating and designing for a television show. So it can be a little ridiculous or campy, like literally a camp last year.
Yeah, right. Or like way too colorful because like it looks good on camera, like it's not necessarily how I would decorate my house at all.
Right.
But like, So yeah, I just kind of like, I don't pay attention because I just don't, that's not why I watch Big Brother. But like this one really does feel like a bit more sophisticated. Like I don't love all of it, but it just feels like elevated, which I think is super appropriate for this season.
Speaking of the parts that I don't love, this bathroom's not my favorite. I mean, the ducks are cute. Again, that's fun for TV.
Yeah. I just have never understood a couch in a bathroom. Like, why? It's so wet in a bathroom. Why are you putting a couch in there? But
and the fact that they sit there so often and just like chat, and you're like, this is a bathroom, y'all. That's gross. This purple room is not my favorite.
Yeah,
but it's fine. Now this is fun, like comics.
Like I guess I'm a bit hung up on like BB Canada, the most recent season that got canceled midway through. That was like all comic book themed. So I'm just a bit like, this doesn't feel as fresh to me, but I do like the look of it. Like, I think it's a cool design.
Only because BB Comics has become such an iconic challenge, a comp. So, so I don't hate it because of that. Now, this is one of my favorite rooms.
Very chic.
Yes, that is a way I would decorate my house. Like those are muted colors.
Yeah.
I love the key design. I love this like brick or stone faux wall they put in.
On the sides, like right behind the key.
The wall,
ornaments. Now I'm looking at that thing in the middle there. I think I saw someone online speculating like, is this a secret door? And it definitely looks like it's not nothing. So I'm wondering what's going on there.
I absolutely agree. It does look like it could be something if that becomes a thing. This is the HOH room and also one of my favorites.
Yeah, I just really love like all of the loft elements to this. Like I read that it was inspired by LA lofts, but I was also getting, I mean, it's just kind of city lofts. I was also kind of getting like New York vibes from the house, but it's, I don't know, it just feels a bit less like last season was camp, and it's most of the time they're just really super leaning into the summer thing. And this is a bit more classy, which I really like. Yeah,
it's much more chic for like adults, because we actually have adults this time.
Real.
I love a loft vibe. My dream home looks like an English cottage on the outside and a city loft on the inside. It doesn't make any sense, but that's my dream. So honestly, this is great.
I will say there are way too many pillows on the HOH bed. Like 15 of those have to come off before anybody's getting any kind of sleep in that room.
Well, and they will. They'll come off. So this is part of the kitchen, and they again, they have these loft windows, which are amazing because they're not really windows, but and then that brick wall again, love. But also we have this like spray painted former players. Yeah,
I love the nods to the former players. I'm not like, I could do without the spray paint. Like it's not my favorite thing, but I do love these like big moments in BB history. And it's kind of like, we do have a couple, we'll get to the cast. We have a couple of returning champions, but like, these are like the greats of the game kind of looking on, over the proceedings, which I love.
Right. I mean, I do like Dan and Derek there, like looking
Danielle.
But that's Danielle.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more of former house guests, and I'm like, I don't need all of that. There's some extra pillows that we don't need. This is the living room. Sure. Yeah. There's a light bright if you need.
I like the coffee tables. I don't care about the pickup sticks behind the couch. Like, everything. It's like sometimes they overdo it with like the metaphors of the design element of the house.
Right.
Like, it was like the pickup sticks behind the couch suggest your uncertainty in the game. And it's like, okay, let's move on.
You're like, no, come on now. Did a designer really pitch that to you? That's a bit much.
Yeah.
This lounge I think is cute. It's got like, still that loft vibe with the bricks and like maybe a garage door style. But it's loved theme. I don't know if you guys can see the hearts there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah. There's hearts, and the pillows are all the showmances.
Showmances.
Y'all.
Oh my God.
Bayley, Tangela, Jody. It says Danny and
Yeah.
Dom. There's a Jeff and Jordan. They're basically all there.
Yeah.
There's a Brenchel.
Yeah.
Those are gonna, I don't know, be maybe defiled. I'm not sure.
Tyler's probably going to walk in and be like, oh, my name's on a pillow. Like, I don't need to be like in everybody's face quite that much.
Yeah. He's gonna like commandeer that because it's his. I think, I think like Bayley will take hers. I feel like you're gonna take the one that represents you, probably because you're gonna be like, oh, how fun.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'd be like, I don't know. These are my competition.
I know. Well, I feel like the producers were maybe thinking like, we've got an older cast, like people are married, some people have kids, like it's less likely that we're going to have power showmances than what, compared to what we saw on BB7, the first All Stars. So, we just want to make sure that everybody knows that we want people to find love on the show.
You guys. We love showmances. They don't want you're exactly right. There's not going to be any showmances.
Yeah.
In this season. I can't even think
I just can't even like pinpoint to maybe two people. I'm like, but I don't know. Like I don't necessarily keep track of like who's married and who's in a relationship right now,
Right. Well, we know some of these are in their showmances still.
Yeah, we do know that. We know that.
We know.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we like the house. We're excited about the premiere, the live move-in. We should also say the front of house is new and different, says Julie.
Yes. Tons of like LED lights out there. I guess, just she's got a bunch of LED pixel. I don't know. It was like millions of LED pixels on the front of the house. I guess Julie needs those pixels to keep her company since she won't have a live studio audience this season.
She won't have a live audience, which remember when we rewatched, 6 and 7 and we were like, oh, it's deafening. The silence is deafening.
I know. Yeah.
It's going to be back to that. Yep. No audience. So yeah, they probably rebuilt the whole thing to maybe go along with the loft vibe. I don't know, but also probably just for their own logistics of like, we're not going to have an audience. Don't need that.
Yeah, right.
We need to space out our camera people and our producers and like everyone has to be, protected.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised Julie's even going in.
I am too, a bit. Like,
she doesn't need to.
I know she could definitely, it feels like she could do it remotely, but like, I'm happy she is. Cause I do like, I love it when Julie shows up with some receipts in those exit interviews, so like I need her on set. Like, I just love that in-person vibe of that. She could also do that remotely, but I think it's cool.
And it's easier this way.
Yeah. Right. It makes sense that they would redo the front because if they just take away the audience and use that same set, it's going to feel weird to people who have been watching seasons and seasons. It will be obvious that there is no audience, but now it's just like, it will almost feel like we're in a different space. So I think that's a smart move that they did that.
Is it going to feel like, if it's a loft, is it going to be like Central Park? It's going to be like a city, city green,
cityscapes behind us. Yeah.
Maybe a brownstone stoop, something like that.
Right.
No.
Or maybe they'll just
sell me on pickup sticks.
Yeah.
Then give me some sort of stoop. I don't know. Oh, look at that. We're designing the whole thing. Okay. Yeah. What else? Okay. We did mention there was some sort of house twist, right? I think it was Grodner said, the house actually holds the key to some new twist that will keep these All-Stars on their toes all season.
Right. And I think she did kind of allude to like secret rooms that hold certain powers and things like that. So I definitely think, and I wonder like how, these house guests have all been in the house before, and sure, it changes every season, but like, I think it stays similar to a certain extent. So how quickly are these people going to be able to pick up on like, wait, this wasn't there before? Like, I'm sure they're going to be knocking on walls and seeing if there's like a hollow sound behind it. They're going to be exploring.
They know the layout of the house. Like, no matter how you redesign it, they're like, that's because this was where we worked out in my previous season or something like that. They're like, I remember going in over there.
Yeah, right.
They know about that extra space. So
Yeah.
I have to imagine they will pick up on that.
Yeah. And another thing that Grodner said in one of her interviews that I was interested by was the yard. Because the reporter was asking about, like, how are you going to handle these comps? They're massive builds. I assume you can have as many people. And she just kind of suggested that the yard is different somehow, its own world somehow. And so I got to thinking, like, I wonder if there's a backyard for the cast to hang out casually and another yard that's separate, that's only used for comps or something like that. It'll be really interesting to see how they do this.
That would make a lot of sense because, yeah, we kind of joked around when we were watching Big Brother 7 at how, like, simple those comps were and how we should probably expect that this season. Just because logistically setting these up, you can't, like, build a big thing and break it down just because of germs right now.
Right. Yeah.
So if they had a section that was always like this comp stage or something like that, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would, like, take up half the yard.
I don't know.
You know, limit the yard. I mean, it's not summer, but it's still warm in LA.
It's
so
still
we
hot.
Could still use a pool.
Yeah, because it stays hot here into September, October. Like Allison mentioned, like the weather's going to change, but like not that much. It's Los Angeles, you know? So
no one's going to notice it's fall.
Yeah, right.
A real fall. So, yeah, that will be interesting to see. I do think that there'll be some surprises with the backyard. For sure. David, Julie did some press today, and she revealed some things that I don't know if she was supposed to.
Whoops. Yeah.
It sounded unscripted, but she did confirm 8 girls, 8 guys.
There you go.
She says she doesn't even know who the cast is yet because they brought in more than 16, put them in little Airbnbs. They all had their own house, and they were tested regularly every few days for COVID, obviously. And some got positive COVID test results, and so they will not be on the cast, and they have been released.
Yeah, I mean, we knew this. We've heard names like a Casey, like a Josh, who it was heavily speculated that they were brought out here and quarantined and that they both tested positive and were released. So I think that's who Julie is alluding to there.
I do believe so. I can't believe she confirmed that, but hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate a confirmation. Julie. And to be clear, she didn't say any names of who tested positive, but those of us who have been sleuthing for months first saw Casey and Josh and the challenge people partying it up in Miami. Then we saw them go into sequester. Then we saw them reappear on their social media. So it kind of adds up.
Yeah, that's it, I think.
That's what we're speculating right there.
Yeah. I wonder though, like, she's, you know, she's got to say what she's got to say in the press, and like you kind of have to be skeptical of all of it. But I wonder if they're just waiting because like they're still testing people today. They're probably going to be testing people for COVID up until the premiere tomorrow. So like, I guess there's a chance that someone could get swapped out as late as like tomorrow afternoon, you know?
I wonder, obviously they weren't able to announce the cast ahead of time and keeping it open for this kind of stuff. But I wonder, what is the deadline? Like, where do they draw the line of this person not making the cut? Because someone did an oopsie today and sent out an email blast. Her name is Christmas. She emailed all the people on her little whatever list. She's the trainer. Yeah. And she told them all that she's on Big Brother 22. Yeah. And I feel like that was maybe scheduled and not rescheduled when it became too early.
Right. Yeah. Like the cast reveal was supposed to be last week. So maybe she, you know, scheduled this email way back before she even went into sequester and didn't think about it when the cast reveal got rescheduled that, oops, now on Tuesday, August 4th, we don't know that you're on it until you told us that you are.
Yeah, that got out. That circulated. So, you know, she clearly broke an NDA. She clearly messed up. And I just don't know that you can pull her out at this point, though.
Right.
I wonder.
I know.
I mean, I assumed she was an alternate to begin with, but that's just an assumption. But is there another alternate to take her place?
Right. Well, I will say, like, we've heard a lot more names than 16 going around this summer. And I think that even on the lists that people are confident about, there's more than 16. So that probably does include some alternates at this point. And there's more than 8 guys, more than 8. Like there is a surplus. So
yes. Okay. Let's talk about that surplus. Enrique, yes. I love this joke. Christmas canceled. This is very 20.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. Oh, Wendy Abbott, is Christmas your sister? Hi, Wendy. What? Wait, where did your comment go? I'll put you up here. Oh no, your sister has a big mouth. Is it your sister from another mister or your real sister? Not so sure, but yeah, I do feel like that was a big old oopsie. But we were actually laughing in the Discord earlier that we wouldn't put it past any of us to accidentally send out an email.
Absolutely.
Too soon or to the wrong people. And you're just like,
yeah,
one more day.
It's better for me to just say nothing at all, because I'm just probably going to put my foot in my mouth if I don't.
Right. Exactly. Just don't send that email. They'll figure it out when they see you on TV.
Right.
Okay. Another one that was accidentally confirmed is Tyler. Tyler, his mom.
Good old mom. Thanks, Mom.
Whoopsie, Mom. She was like, can't wait to watch my boy again for the second time.
Yep. I am so excited to see Tyler. I'm just learning about Big Brother, still getting used to these things, but
so I'm just learning about Facebook, still getting used to are people hearing me right now? How does this thing work? Is this thing on?
Oh my God.
Tyler.
Yeah.
We all know who Tyler is, but I'm just gonna pull up some photos.
Yes.
For you guys. So I thought that was adorable because I feel like that's something my mom would do. Now, what do we think about Tyler? He obviously came in second to Casey.
Yep. Played a great game, I thought, in BB20. Like, I think I might have voted for him over Casey if I were on the jury. Like, he really was like playing that game from the beginning. What I will say, a lot of people are talking about like, oh, when Tyler walks into the house, he's going to be shook that he doesn't see Casey, his number one. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I think he's perfectly capable of playing an excellent game on his own. I think what's different now is that he's the youngest player on this list of people that we, are envisioning coming back. Nicole Anthony is also on this list. We'll get to her. She's like a few months older than him, but he's like 25 youngest player. What does that do to his game? I do think the age is going to shake things up a little bit because the cast skews older. So like we're used to people in the 21 to 27 range, ruling the house, but I don't know this season.
Yeah. What is the age disparity? Is it a lot of older people or is it pretty just like spread out?
There's a lot of people in their 30s and 40s, which honestly, like over 30 and you're a grandparent on Big Brother, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I think there's like 6 people in their 20s on the list.
Well,
out of like,
that's nice.
I'm looking at like 19 people now that I'm like pretty confident are on the list of people who could walk into the house. So that's like, it's definitely a shift. And that it makes sense. It's like an all-star season. So they're like going further back into BB history to pull people. But I don't know if that'll affect Tyler.
That's one of the things I love about bringing, returning players is that they've grown up, they've matured a little bit, they've learned a lot. I don't think that Tyler loses out much by not having Casey. He and Bayley, and we'll get to her in a minute, but Bayley is also rumored to be on, and they've made up, even though they fought during their season. They have publicly been very friendly and communicative on social media. So I do feel like that works for both of them. But he's the most recent person who like ran the house, who really showed that he could manipulate and run things. And so I feel like that's fresh in a lot of people's minds, and he's probably going to be targeted fairly early just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, he was like one of those puppet masters, you know, who could make other people do his dirty work without really realizing it. And he was like, you know, he's like a Dr. Will, he's like a Vanessa. He's someone who's kind of in the HOH's ear at all times and making people feel like, oh, it's my idea. But Tyler just agrees with me when the truth is it was Tyler's strategy all along, you know. So I think he's definitely going to be a target for that reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let me see. Okay, good. Works. Nicole F.
Yes.
Is rumored to be back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's one that's been on everybody's lips all summer long.
Everyone's lips. And I just feel like I have to do a PSA because she gets so much hate and I don't fully understand why. And I will stick up for her constantly. But I just... You what?
I love Nicole Frenzel.
Yeah. We are fans of hers. And so get used to it. But some of the stuff that's been said in this preseason is just ridiculous. So I feel like I have to just say there's no way that she wasn't asked originally. She's a winner. They went out and asked all of these recent winners that have like a decent fan base. Like there's a couple winners who they don't talk to anymore, but she is not one of those. Like she's been on Amazing Race. Like she's part of the CBS brand. They 100% went to her. There was no way that she got upset and called and threw a fit. Like that's just not reality.
It's just not.
And then she also, there's no way that she would have gotten Dan and Derek in trouble. If Dan and Derek wanted to play, they would be playing.
Yeah. If like, I mean, you know, you say it's a good point that Nicole has like a substantial fan base outside of Big Brother because she's been on these other reality shows. So like, of course they're going to go out to someone like that, but like, they're not going to, sorry to Nicole, no disrespect to her, but they're not going to let her stop people like Derek and Dan from playing again. Like, give me a break.
No. There is no amount of like preseason gaming that Dan and Derek could do that would stop them from being on the show.
Yeah.
This is the same team that put Will and Mike Boogie together for All Stars.
Hello. Thank you. Say it twice.
They are not about like, oh, our legends have been pre-gaming. They'd be like, yes, please build yourself an alliance. Come in and win the game. They would love it.
If we could get a legend to win again, all the better.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just like stop my rant now. But so she, in case anyone doesn't know her, she placed 7th on BB16 and then she came back BB18 and won that.
Yes, she beat Paul in that kind of controversial vote. Like you say, she's not the biggest fan favorite winner ever. But I think that might like help her in the house a little bit. Like I think obviously people are going to have their eye on winners from the beginning, or at least they should. But she's one of those who doesn't necessarily get the same level of respect. So that may help her kind of lay low for the first few weeks, you know?
Maybe. I don't know a lot of how these players who are friends with who. Like, I don't know. She's very like Midwestern. So is Janelle. Like, are they friends? I don't know.
Right.
I kind of know who she has beef with, but they're not on the show. So it'll be interesting to see how or how everyone's attitude is towards her in the house. Speaking of Nicole's,
here we go.
Guess who's rumored to be back?
Who we know. We interviewed her right here on Nerdtainment.
Friend
after
of the
BB21.
podcast. That's right. Our favorite unicorn, Nicole Anthony.
Yes.
Is pretty much likely to be on this season. So she disappeared and her social media has been very questionable. So pretty much confirmed on that one.
Yeah. So excited about her.
I mean,
it's kind of tough to come back like back-to-back seasons, but we saw with the last BB All-Stars, season 6 did real well at the beginning. Granted, they had, you know, a pretty solid alliance. Nicole doesn't have like a big group of BB21 people, but you know, it wasn't difficult for season 6 people to come back in season 7 and do well. So like, I'm not counting Nicole Anthony out by any means. I would love to see her do well again.
Yeah. I know. Okay, again, back to recency bias. She was just America's favorite player. Like, we just witnessed like the crap she had to go through. So I feel like she's gonna walk in this house, and most of those former house guests, those all-stars, are gonna be like, "Oh, we love you, Nicole."
Yeah,
and
right.
they'll probably protect her for a little bit. They'll want to work with her. She's proven to be loyal, but there will come a time when they're like, "Oh, she can't go to the end." Like, she's
No,
way too
everybody
nice.
loves her. Yeah.
So I feel like she doesn't have a great shot at winning, but she, you know, she's going to be around for a little while.
I just hope she has a better experience, you know, like she just had a really crummy couple of months in the Big Brother house in BB21. I think like in the end she left being like, I'm glad I did this, but for a while she was probably like, what am I even doing here? So like I would love for this to be a little bit of a redemption season, and just in terms of her relationship to the game, you know.
Exactly, like just for moral, you know, like mental health, I need her to enjoy this experience. I remember Janelle rooting for her last year, but then again, like, who didn't root for her last year? So it'll be interesting. Seth, thank you for the super chat. And yes, thanks, I too would love that final two.
Unlikely, but I would love it. Yeah.
Yeah. We can all dream, but no, that's not happening. Yes, she came, if anyone doesn't remember, she came in third last year, BB21, and was America's favorite house player. The next one, now the rest of my list is kind of just hodgepodge.
Okay.
But the next one I have on this list is someone we just
Hello. So yes, we just watched Janelle in BB7. We just wrapped up BB7 All-Stars on Monday. So she's very fresh in our minds. The only thing that's her on BB14. The only thing I'm kind of iffy about is like, does she have that fire anymore? You know, people talk about like, she's got kids now, she's a mom, her life's completely different. Obviously her game's going to be a bit different because like she relied on like, you know, flirting and showmances, and not relied, like she was a comp, don't get me wrong, she was a comp beast as well, but that was a pretty significant part of her game. So I'm interested to see like, does she have that passion still for Big Brother? I hope so. Like, I would love to see that, but I'm just not sure.
I was pleasantly surprised last year when we watched her on The Amazing Race at that she still had that like competition or that competitiveness in her. Like, remember she pulled Brittany. Like, Brittany was like, where are we? What are we doing?
She did.
And Janelle like busted her butt on all of those challenges. And I was like, dang, girl, because I mean, we don't have to talk about a woman's age, but she's older.
Yeah, she's 40. Yeah.
So long ago. So, you know, obviously she's not what she used to be, but she's still really good. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, she's still got it. Like, I was looking back at the Amazing Race. I was like, where did they finish an Amazing Race? And it wasn't a great showing. But I do think you're right. Like, if they had been playing individually, well, you never play individually. If she'd had another partner, she may have done better, because like Brittany just wasn't really bringing it in the Amazing Race competitions.
She really did everything. And that's why they didn't make it, because one person can't do everything. But you know, I'm so excited to watch her again, just because we love her, and her energy in the house is going to be so much fun. And I'm just excited to see who she's going to work with and who she's not going to want to work with.
And she gives great DR to me. Like she will act one way in the house, and you're kind of like, wait, is she falling for this thing that this person says? And then cut to a DR right away. She's like, well, I didn't believe that for a second. So like, that's one of the things I really love about Janelle, is like, she's kind of got one face to the game and another face to the DR, which is great.
Yeah. Thank you, Planet Junebug, because I am 41. So we are capable of doing things.
Of course. Yes. And like, let's be honest, not all the comps in Big Brother are physical. I will say 40-year-olds can physically win competitions. I'm not saying that, but like,
no, I know
there are also memory comps, and there's tons of variety in Big Brother. So like, I think even though we've got some older players, they're going to be able to hang in there with the younger people.
Hopefully there's more of that. Last year was super, super physical, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
that they go back to a better balance. I want more mental comps. I want more puzzles. I want more of that.
Well, how can you not, like, when you're doing this all-star season, pulling people from we've got such a good variety of seasons that people have played on, like BB21 back to maybe even BB3. I would love to see some like BB history comps, how much have people studied every season of this game, like things like that.
That would be hard.
Yeah.
I would love that. Stats for Janelle. She came in 3rd on BB6 and BB7.
Yes.
And she came in 12th on BB14.
Yeah, BB14, she was just too big of a target. Like, everybody knew her, how good she was. She destroyed the house in season 7 on competition. So they just weren't even going to let her get her foot in the door on BB14.
Right. Just her buddy, Kaser here.
Kaser, yes.
I am in shock that we're pretty sure Kaser is going to be on this season.
I am as well. And I like Kaser. He's like a very cerebral guy, very smart, knows the game well. But he got 10th place on both of his seasons. And I'm not sure. Like, after BB7, we just watched it again. And he said in his exit interview with Julie, he's like, I just don't know if I'm built for this game. And I kind of feel that way. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like expecting a better game out of Kaser, because I just think that he kind of has shown us what he's got. Still an all-star, still love the guy, but
No, I agree. We're all for seeing him again. I mean, he's just kind of a fan favorite. People love him, but he's not good at the game.
Yeah.
He's not. His head's not in the game. He said he wants to play honest. At least back in 6 and 7, he wanted to play honest. So I can't imagine that's changed too much. Maybe he's coming in and like, I don't care, I'll lie to everyone. But yeah, so do I imagine him going super far? Not really, unless people are just not thinking about him. If they're not worried about him, maybe he hangs around.
Yeah, I mean, if he can be more of a number for a while, and not, because he came in like trying to run things both seasons, which I really respected on season 6 and 7. But maybe he just needs to like lay low a little bit and not be so in the strategy decisions from the get-go. Yeah.
Agreed. It seems like the chat is agreeing with us as well. All right. Who else is rumored / basically confirmed?
Let's see. I mean, we've got... who's next, Sarah?
Let's jump to someone I know you're excited about.
Hell yes, I'm excited about Davon, and I don't care what anybody says about it. Like, I just rewatched today the fight between Polly and Davon in the jury house. Like, she is just good television. Listen, are her stats the best? No, she came in 16th on BB17. She came in 11th on BB18. But hey, maybe she'll jump another 5 spots and come in 6th on BB All-Stars. Like, she could go a long way if, it figures out a new way to play the game, because obviously it didn't work the first couple of times.
Yeah, I agree. David and I both just enjoy watching her on TV. And since playing Big Brother, she's gone and played a couple seasons of The Challenge. I think she's just becoming smarter and smarter and like understanding game more and more. So I honestly, like, I could pick her as a winner. I won't pick winner picks, but like she is really top of my list, because I think she has a better shot this season. I think that she's not considered a super, super threat. Like, she walks in the house and people are going to want to be friends with her, as opposed to like, let me get her out right now. That helped her stay in a little while, build a little army, get her group together. And like, I have very high hopes for her this season.
Oh, I mean, I would love to get a full summer into fall of Davon. Like, I'll take anything we can get. So I'm super excited to see her back.
Like we said in our Dreamcast video, we were like, we don't care if she's on jury, whatever. We just need her on our television.
I know.
That's all that matters.
Truly one of the great like personalities to come out of Big Brother. So I'm glad she's back.
Okay, I don't want to get everyone's hopes up, because I'm not sure.
I know. I knew you were going here. I knew you were going there. I am so hopeful I would love to see her back. I just enjoyed, watching her so much on the first All-Stars go around. It's like crazy that we would get Danielle, Kaser, and Janelle, who all played in the first All-Star season.
Yeah.
And potentially they're going to be back for the second. But I just don't know how likely it is.
No. I mean, when her name was first brought up, this is Danielle Reyes, obviously, from BB3 and BB7. When her name was first brought up, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? No way. I'm so excited, but like, no way. And she has adamantly been like, you guys, I'm not on it. But people who think, people who know, who are in the know are saying, she is though. So my hopes aren't up super high. But she's being talked about, so I'm throwing it up on our list here.
I know. God, I would love that. I would love it if she came back because a lot of people consider her one of the greats to have never won the game. They were already saying that in BB7 All-Stars. Like Will Kirby kept saying, like, Danielle is the best player who's never won. So, like, just come back for one more go round, Danielle. Like, try to make it happen.
I mean, it's been 1,000 years since she last played, so it would be like such a change. Fred, thank you so much for this super chat.
Thanks, Fred.
Will be back tomorrow. You are correct. Recapping the premiere and, of course, all season long. So buckle up, y'all. Buckle up. Okay, who else are we wanting to talk about?
I kind of want to talk about some people who played in the same seasons because we've got some interesting relationships here, specifically Memphis and Keisha from BB10. This is an interesting pairing because I'm also obviously like cycling through like who could potentially work together, what kind of like alliances could we see walk in the door, a la season 6, a la Chilltown from the first All-Stars go around. But like Keisha and Memphis have a complicated history on this show. Keisha was America's favorite house guest in BB10. She finished 4th, and Memphis cast the only vote to evict her. And it was like really dramatic when Keisha found out that Memphis was planning to do this because like she thought she could trust him, Right. So I'm wondering, I mean, surely they've smoothed things over by now if they've like stayed in touch. Yeah, it's BB10, like it's 12 years ago. But I'm just excited to see like how those two are going to feel about each other when they come into the house. This BB10 was the year Dan won. Memphis got, second place. Keisha got 4th. So they both did well in their season. But how willing are they going to be? It's interesting to just think about like, well, you've already betrayed me once. So can I trust you this time or not? And it's a similar situation with Hayden and Enzo. Hayden is the winner of BB12. Enzo finished 3rd. And Hayden won that final HOH and sent Enzo out the door. So, they were in the Brigade Alliance together all season on BB12, but where do they stand now?
I don't think Hayden is going to be in the cast, and I do think Enzo is.
Gotcha.
We're probably all going to be shocked tomorrow, but Hayden's name has sort of fallen off the list. But like if the two of them were both on this season, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
It's real dangerous to put people who work together, like back talking about Tyler and Casey, like had they ended up together, that's crazy. But, time passes and things change and, do they work together the same? Are they, upset? I did wonder because Memphis, you think about Memphis as Dan's guy. Yeah. And you think about Cody. We haven't talked about Cody yet.
Oh, yeah.
But Cody is also a number 2. Do one of them pair up with Tyler? Like Tyler needs a number 2, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Do they fall in line and say, "Oh, this is the same kind of dynamic. Let me test this out."
Right.
That was kind of the way that I was thinking of like who fits into whose little slot box.
I mean, I know we've. I know we've already talked about Christmas a little bit, but I do think that she's someone that people are going to be looking at as like, I want to make a final 2 with you day one, just because she like kind of played more of a support game in her season. And granted, like I would be interested to see her back. And I said this in our, Dreamcast video, just because she was hampered by the broken leg and that whole thing kind of like derailed her experience last time. But once that did happen, she just was kind of there, like playing with Paul. She was playing Paul and Josh's games, I felt for a lot of the season. So I think people will be looking at her like, why don't you come and play my game with me, Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, team up with me.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna walk in and people are gonna be like, "I'm sorry, who are you? Wait, do I?"
Even though she finished third, you know, it's like
Right.
it's not nothing, but it is just kind of like not memorable the way she played.
Right. I do remember you and I both being super into her pre-broken leg. We were all about like, is she going to be a comp queen? Like, what is she going to do? And then we were so disappointed. So on one hand, it is great to have sort of this redemption, like, girl, show us what you got. Yeah. Like, let's go. Yeah. Don't fall for the same stuff you fell for in 19. So yeah, well, is anyone willing to work with her? Like how... Yeah. You know, maybe she goes to a Tyler. I don't know.
Yeah. And just to make sure we touch on all of our potentially returning champions, I'm interested about Ian, right? BB14 winner. And he's kind of like, he's obviously this like nerdy guy. He like wore a lot of like Tulane gear when he first played the game in BB14. But he's kind of a comp beast. He won 4 HOHs and 2 vetoes in his season, and he beat Dan Giesling, you know? So it's like, I'm interested to see what he can do a second time around. I think he's potentially a super early boot because of what he's already accomplished. Right. But just wanted to make sure that we talk about all of the...
Yeah, for sure. You know, if you guys are regular Nerdtainment viewers, you know I love a nerdy player. My gosh, the nerd stereotype gets me so excited. And I love that about Ian. But the difference is Ian was, you know, an underdog. He was like, he wasn't taken seriously. He was looked over so much in his season, and this time he's walking in as a winner, so he has to somehow adjust. Like, he's got to play a different game. He's just forced. For sure.
But I think people are going to have their eye on him if he walks through that door right away.
Yeah, exactly. Who else? Let's see. Kevin. Rumored.
He's another one who finished third in season 11. He's just one of those people who is not like on the tip of your tongue when you're thinking of BB All-Stars, right? But like, again, if you make it third place, like,
it was
you
one
played
of
a good game.
Those, like I mean, Vanessa is like amazing, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's Vanessa, but it's that similar situation where you have to take someone out at 3 because they will win the game. Right? Like, Memphis, his head was in the game. He was smart enough. He was a threat to win, so he had to go.
And he didn't face eviction until final 3. So, you know, it was just like, all right, this is our last chance to get you out, Kevin. You got to go. So I'm interested to see him back potentially.
Speaking of the opposite of going third place.
First boot.
First boot. Look, David and I have speculated that this was not really going to be an all-star season, that is just the title they were giving it. And we actually said we'd love to see some first boots like David, like Cameron. We're up for it. We're into it. A lot of people are upset because he's not, quote unquote, an all-star.
But this guy didn't even get a chance to play. That's the thing. He was out. Wasn't it night 1? He was out.
Yes.
So like, we don't even know what he's capable of. And I will say, like, as the season went, this was the season where he got to stay in the house, and he was kind of trying to like work his way back in case he was able to battle back. I saw more potential there than how he placed. You know, he just was taken out first night. You don't get to see how he played. So like, I'm totally willing to see him come back and see him actually get a chance to play. Good Lord, if he gets evicted again on night 1, I don't know if he'll be able to survive, but let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they can't do it. They just can't do it. I don't like night 1 evictions. They upset me. They went through so much work to get there. And, you know, BB21 had some really icky stuff. And I think getting rid of him in the beginning was part of that. And so he just deserves a chance to play, guys. Just get over it. He needs a chance to play. So I'm okay with it. He doesn't have to turn out to be great. I'm fine with that. If he plays horribly and leaves, then fine. Who cares? He's one of 16. But let's at least give him a shot. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. Now, there's 2 more ladies on my list if we just want to get through everybody. One is Amber from BB16. Oh, but you've got Danielle up. Perfect.
I've got Danielle up.
Danielle's like a legend in the BB fandom. Obviously finished second to her dad in BB8, came in 8th on BB13. But I would love to see her back in the game, back playing, because she was another one of those competition beasts in BB8, 5 vetoes, 2 HOHs. So, she's going to, I think, come ready to play.
Absolutely. She's got a great head for this game. Like, she's in it. She understands it. She's another one that I think has longevity. I think she could go all the way this season. She changed so much from 8 to 13. Like, she matured. She already played well in 8, but like, she was so young then. And then she came back 13 and just, I can only imagine, how much she's grown and what we will see this time. I just feel like that's a great evolution for her. Yeah,
she's one that I really want to see on the cast reveal and the live premiere. Like, that would be so exciting.
Have we mentioned Bayley yet?
We did a bit, but we should talk about like her game. We just mostly talked about like she was in a Showman's with Swaggy and stuff, but she's one that she's controversial, I think, within the BB fandom. Some people are like, we saw enough, we don't need to see her play again. But I just would I think that if she can figure out a different way to play, that there's more there. She was obviously in a lot of fights her season. The house was kind of against her. She didn't handle that well. But again, she's gone on to play on other reality shows since then. So how has she matured as a reality show contestant since she was last on?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought she had great potential up until her HOH, and then everything just went wrong. But yeah, she went on the challenge, and supposedly she did really great, and people got to see a different side of her. And some BB people are like, oh, we like her more now. So even though I don't watch the challenge, I don't know. So I'm always hopeful that any of these cast members come back and have grown and learned a couple things and, kick some butt. So I'm up for it. I'm open.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the last one is Amber. Now, Amber, I think, is probably the one that I'm just sort of the most meh about in terms of coming back. Yeah. She kind of, what I remember most about her was that Caleb Reynolds was obsessed with her and was kept trying to take her on dates and be in a relationship with her. But sure, bring her back. Let's see how she can play without Caleb, kind of tormenting her the whole season.
Unfortunately, Amber, that is what she's, the scene where they were on that awkward date together. That's the only thing people remember her by. So I don't know that she knows how to play the game great. We didn't get to see it, but I'll lump her in the same category as David of all right, come back and get another shot. And hopefully you show me something. If not, fall in line and be a number 2 to some of these people who we know are amazing.
Right.
And protect them.
Right.
How about that?
Protect them, take some notes on how they're playing the game, and then maybe make a huge move like Erica did on BB7 All-Stars and get a legend out of the game at Final Four,
Sure. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So, David, do you think that there'll be any sort of older players versus newer players? What do you think the dynamic will be with this group?
I see some potential there. Again, I'm I've got fresh in my mind BB7 All-Stars and also Survivor 40 Winners at War. Specifically with Winners at War, it was that old school, new school dynamic. So I think there is going to be an element of that, because I think some of these, but I don't know that it's strictly old school and new school. I think it's more legends and not so much legends, because the legends maybe are going to realize we've got to band together for the first few weeks at least to make it through, and then we can call that off and start to go after each other. But if we don't stick together as a solid alliance of big names in BB history, then these people who we don't think deserve to win are just going to pick us off,
Yeah, I don't feel like there's this old school, new school division with this group of people. It's kind of blended. We got people who've played a couple times. Some people have just played once. We've only got 2 winners. So those 2 could easily sort of be picked out and targeted. But everyone else could kind of just sort of see who they click with. We've got a few parents, so they, bond over that.
I do think age may play more of a factor than like the season that you played Big Brother. But I think like, you know, the people who are in their late 30s and early 40s, they're just going to naturally kind of flock together. They're not going to necessarily be going to want to like hang out with the Nicole Anthonys, the Tyler Crispins, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yesenia, thank you for reminding everyone to hit the notification bell because we got lots of content coming up.
God. Yeah.
I saw someone ask earlier in the chat about a schedule, and I was like, oh, do I have a schedule?
Right. Great question.
Figuring that out. We always go live after an eviction episode.
Yeah.
Which will be Thursdays.
Yep.
And then we have often done Mondays recaps of like what else is happening in the week.
Yeah, because we get like by the time Monday rolls around, we've gotten the Sunday episode, and then we know some spoilers, right? Like we like to do a little bit of spoilers in our Big Brother coverage because we are live feeders. So we usually know like who's won the power of veto by that point. Sometimes we even know like who the replacement nom is. So that's like kind of a good check-in point for the week. You know, for the people who just want the Sunday recap, they can just stay for that. For people who want to know what's going on behind the scenes, we can share a little bit of that.
Yeah. And last season, I experimented with popping on and just doing some live feed updates periodically. Yeah. So hopefully I can do that again. Hopefully David will join me for some of those.
Would love to, yeah.
It is best to just subscribe.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
hit that bell because you never know when we're going live.
We're going to just throw up as much content as we can because we are obsessed and we watch the show all the feeds and we're all about it. So we will, like I said, be here all season with coverage talking about the show and the live feed spoilers. So, tomorrow.
Yes, I know.
What's happening? Just too exciting. I've been like this, and Douglas is like, "Can you relax?" I'm like, "No, I can't."
Your like shoulders are just like here all day, and he's like, "Relax, shoulders out of the ears." I do want to point out that we are East Coast feeders. We like to watch that New York feed, so we will be going live right after the New York, the East Coast time zone premiere. So for those of you on the West Coast, catch us later. Don't watch us before you watch the premiere so you don't get spoiled, but yes.
Yes. So it's about 8-ish that we will be live tomorrow after the premiere, 8 Pacific. Because we watched that early show.
Yep.
Jessica, thank you for asking, but no, I'm no longer working with TV Co. So I will not be over there. You gotta stay tuned to Nerdtainment for all of this content. This is where we will be.
Yes.
Also, we have a draft. So David and I did a draft with Jolene and Elaine for Survivor this last season, and it was so much fun. Now, it's been a little harder because Big Brother didn't announce a cast, but we are going to try to get a draft together Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And then also we do a patron draft. So our patrons who are in our Discord, they get to pick their fantasy team, and we all get points. It's not just a winner pick. So that's more fun content coming your way.
I love it. So much to do.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we know. Probably not. There's probably more that we forgot.
I'm sure we left
But we will be back tomorrow after we, get to see this cast. And
I can't wait. And the comps and the twist and all of it. Like I'm sure going to be freaking out tomorrow night. So I can't wait.
Here for all of it. You guys, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. Appreciate it. If you're joining us later, please leave us a comment. Let us know, who you're excited for, if you liked the house, all of that.
Yes. Let us know what you think, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Bye.